As 2018 started off strong with Citrus, it feels only natural for this year to end with yet another Yuri anime. It feels like nowadays we are getting lesbians every season, which of course I think it's a great thing. Not only the frequency increased, but also the quality of the show improved. The days of excessive fanservice slapped together with some half-assed story could be gone for the Yuri genre. Now it feels like we are starting to get some standards. More care is put into these shows, and it seems like the romance is at the center for a change. Now Bloom Into You is technically a shoujo ai, which is fairly similar with the Yuri genre. They both stand for anime lesbians, and from personal experience shoujo ai is more about character development and less about fan service. It's basically a softcore version of Yuri. I previously compared 2018 Winter Yuri release Citrus with Bloom Into You, because in my opinion the shows have many similarities, and yet the slight difference in the genre ended up making them polarizing experiences. Let me start with the elements where these two shows overlap. In both Citrus and Bloom Into You, the main character is a young teenage girl that is so far clueless regarding relationship and love. Now there is no explanation on why Yuzo Arihara is still single. I mean, she's gorgeous looking. On the other hand, Yu, now that I think about it, even their names start with the same letter, actually had an opportunity to get romantically involved with a boy, but she could not feel the butterflies of love, and ended up trusting her gut. She turns him down in cold blood and decides to look for romance elsewhere, like the student council president. And again, in Citrus, Yuzo ends up in a relationship with the student council president that has many physical traits similar to her counterpart. The art style is clearly different, but Toko Nanami, just like Mei Arihara, has long black hair with a slender tall body, and is the one that initiates physical contact most of the time. Which brings me to their personalities. While Toko is better developed as a character, is naturally a little more complex in her inner struggles.
That still isn't a guarantee that you knew the real me. Isn't it possible that I simply told you those things because you were happiest when I relied on you for comfort and support? Everyone I knew saw me wearing a different mask, but no one can actually answer who I was underneath them. And now I'll never know!
Mei Arihara has her own personal problems to deal with. She is, though, more or less an introvert that struggles with loneliness and depression. Otherwise, even the way the girls interact with each other has some resemblance.
You'll see.
That's enough, seriously! You're taking this too far.
What do you mean?
There's still a lot we have to do. May, what are you doing? Stop it! Be careful, I almost dropped the plate!
The protagonist is more optimistic and active in trying to know her girlfriend better, giving her emotional support when the times are tough.
Hey, you? Kiss me? I mean... I just can't help it. You've been so accepting of how I feel, and... makes me want you more.
May, I
Ain't done comparing these two yet. Let's talk about the vice president. She's in both shows the student council president's best friend, hiding the fact they have a crush on her and ending up being jealous of the main character that trusted herself enough to express her feelings.
I was alone with the president yesterday. And I don't care if you are head over heels in love with her, cause Mei doesn't see you as anything more than her big sister, and she never will.
Nobody said anything about love.
Excellent. Well, I do have something with her, so we'd like your complete support.
No.
While both titles got released in the same year, after some superficial research I found out that Citrus predates Bloom Into You by 3 years in manga format, so clearly the latter took a little bit of inspiration from its predecessor. Something else I found funny with these two particular titles is that so many people around the main characters are lesbians. It's not like they live in a lesbian community or anything. I mean, what are the chances that so many day-to-day normal life females around the protagonist are also into girls themselves?
No, not at all. It's a small part of the culture festival, but they're very serious. They really want to revive the student council tradition from 7 years ago.
Student council?
Oh, did I not mention?
The more love the better. I'm certainly not complaining. I like both shows to begin with. Now let me concentrate a little bit on Blooming to You for a few minutes. I previously stated that the anime starts with the main character having a sudden interest in the student council president. She eavesdrops on her conversation with another male student and realizes that, just like her, Toko does not seem to have much of an interest on the opposite sex. The protagonist herself ends up joining the student council body, which gives our two lovebirds plenty of opportunities to get wild with each other.
Oh, Toko!
You.
Am I in your way?
Nope.
Blooming to You delivers little to no fan service and emphasizing more on their emotional connection rather than physical contact. This anime has a classic shoujo romance atmosphere and structure where not much of importance happens and the story progresses rather slowly. And yet, close your eyes for a few seconds and you might have already missed crucial information. The show centers around the student council body activities, whether it's preparing for festivals, competitions, or starting a play. Toko always finds a way to get what she wants from the main character. Things I like the most in Blooming to You is the dynamic between characters. The anime relied heavily on character development, so to its credit it does a fine job on keeping interactions fresh and engaging till the end. Every secondary character feels like a welcome addition to the show rather than a nuisance. Mostly in romance they serve mainly as a distraction from the main plot. Here, however, they enrich the experience with thematic conversation with the protagonist and girlfriend alike. From the whole student council body, I can say that the one I like the most, except our two main lovebirds, is Sayaka. She has the most interesting story of them all. You see, she also started off as a lesbian in her youth until her girlfriend convinced her otherwise, which made her transfer from the all-girls school she used to attend to another place where she eventually meets Toko Nanami. She has mixed feelings about her, not certain it is only love though. I'd say she admires her above all. Toko herself considers her a rival. The only part I don't really get is when Sayaka's former lover suddenly appears out of nowhere to apologize for making her adopt her preferences.
This is perfect. Huh? I really wanted to apologize to you. I mean, if you still find yourself attracted to girls, then that must be because of me. I'm what caught you up in that phase. But if you've gone back to being an ordinary girl, then I guess there's nothing for me to apologize for.
Only for Sayaka to try to make her regret leaving her behind? Or something, not sure she herself knew what she was doing.
This is goodbye.
Maybe it's all better explained in the manga, but I don't like reading that much, so who knows. Slowly we are approaching the final act in the show, which centers around the student council body starting a play that was written by Yu's classmate, Koyomi Kanao. In the dub version, she is voiced by one of my all-time favorites, Brittany Karbowski, although I much prefer her more energetic performances.
So, what are you gonna give me, Ikaruga?
You'll just have to wait.
Whoa! Now I'm super curious!
Don't worry, it's something you're definitely going to love.
Something I'll love? Don't tell me, Ikaruga! It's a free pass to juggle your jingle bells as much as I want!
The play they decide to perform is a clever way to offer Toko some character development. The manuscript is about a girl in the hospital that lost her memories and tried to rediscover her real self through stories from close people that come to visit and tell her about how she used to behave around them. A very artistic way to summarize events past and define her true character. On the outside, Toko seems dependable and confident, but on the inside she has hidden fears and insecurities, especially as she's often compared to her deceased sister. Yu is the only one that got to really know Toko as a person and has seen her vulnerable side. The anime ends up abruptly, as if in the middle of a story arc. I guess we will have to wait for a second season that will hopefully be released soon, because Blooming to You is a pretty damn good anime. I remember complaining about Citrus for not dedicating enough screen time to the struggle of understanding love for a young teenage girl, but it seems the show that has just that was right around the corner. I give this anime an 8 out of 10 for its solid structure and great character development. I wish though there was a little more excitement around their love. The protagonist is a little bit stiff and somewhat calm in dealing with her feelings. It's hard to relate to her as she seems cold and distant to the audience.
What reason is there for me to stay